What up, FIFA Tears, and welcome to the FUT Tears podcast. I am Mersgoth, and today I am joined by my usual two co-hosts, B-Rad and Luke. Do you want to welcome yourselves onto the podcast?
Hello.
Hello there. Hello there. Seductive.
How is everybody?
Yes.
Doing fine.
Good.
Good. I mean, guys, listeners, if you are listening over on like Spotify, Apple, be aware you can find us on YouTube as well, because we do have squad building series and stuff like that. We also have the bonus draft builder that you can find us. We got a Twitter account which we share and tweet out from, so that you can find links to the videos and content that we put out questions to do with the podcast, maybe even general FIFA related comments as well. So make sure to find us on Twitter at FSB Creators, on YouTube FSB Creators as well. So make sure to drop us some follows. And well, let's get started. Well, The first big thing that happened is last week we did break it about like the possibility of a promo starting on Friday, and guess what? They did. They started a promo on Friday. Luke got that a little bit wrong, because he did say that there's going to be a little break, you know, maybe a week or so before they do another promo. But no, they've gone straight into another promo. So it looks like the call is, if they finish a promo on a Wednesday, they're going into another promo on a Friday. And we have the Rulebreakers promo. So we've had Team 1 and we've had the mini release, but they didn't do it on the Sunday this time. They did it on the Saturday, which was a bit more of a curveball situation there. We've had Objectives player Mikel Antonio with a nations change as well. So he's gone from England to Jamaica, which has made it a little bit harder to potentially strong link him into teams, basically. It's Bailey.
Bailey and all West Ham players.
Yeah, basically. And there's not really a lot of decent West Ham players. There's like Suchek, you got Rice
could do with a few more informs,
like
and then he's really usable, I suppose.
Exactly.
Like
we need a couple of special cards.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, they got just strong link him down to Fredericks. Like if you can manage to do that from like a 4-2 playing at cam.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Exactly, simple like that. Then we've had a player choice SBC with Nkunku. So one of them has an upgraded passing, one has upgraded shooting. I personally went for the one with the upgraded passing. Did either of you two? I know, actually, no, Luke, I know exactly what he's done. Do you want to mention what you've done?
Get into a plug.
Yeah.
Get into a plug.
Yeah.
I have done both of them, and there will be a video going live on the day of recording of the podcast, which is on the Monday. So I'll be doing a review of both the shooting and the passing versions. Honestly, I love both of them, but you're going to have to watch to see which one I actually prefer. Because they actually do both perform fairly well, which sort of shocked me. Obviously different chem styles for different ones.
And that is also, not to just forget as well, that is on Luke's channel. So
personal channel. That's not FSB Creators. That's
personal
on
channel.
LAJS 996.
They're down in the description. YouTube. Go and check him out.
Yeah, exactly.
Me personally, I'm being like, other than if I plan to do a video on someone this year, and if someone wants to do the same, then I'll do an SBC for them. But generally, I'm being really selective about what I do this year, just purely because if I've got a team, and I'm kind of like, basically I'm taking it as that if it's not broke, don't fix it. So for me, I'm like thinking, well, I don't need to use my fodder on this player. I'll wait and see what else is going to be coming around the corner. So for that reason, I haven't done Nkunku. So.
And then the only other player SBC that they've released is Dante, which he's got a massive pace upgrade, but I don't think it's necessarily someone that everyone is like going to jump onto. Like Nkunku looks amazing, like, and especially with the return on the packs as well with him. Like you get 70k's worth of packs for doing Nkunku versus a cost of 160k roughly to do him. He's probably gone up due to something that's come out today, but we'll touch on that a little bit down the line. And then today they've released a 78 plus guaranteed pack. Now, I've done 18 of those.
Oh, okay.
I did get Rulebreakers myself. I got Casemiro.
Nice.
Decent one.
In that. And then I only got one other walkout, which was Handanovic, and then 3 boards. So I would say it's okay, considering it's like only 5 players that need to go in it. It's not realistically a bad return.
And it's 78 at the end of the day, isn't it? So, you know, the pool of players that's from is a lot.
Yeah.
It is a lot. It is a lot.
It's not like the 80, 81, 82 plus player picks from around team of the season time when everyone's a special card and there's only like you got to be realistic at the moment in time that you will get a fair few duds from that, but it does have potential to spiral a bit more.
Yeah.
Touching on the Dante though, it's an interesting one.
It's divided everybody from what I've seen on Twitter.
So certain people just going, okay, I found the cheapest solution to the Dante SBC and just put a picture of Marquinhos or Kimpembe in. But then you look at it a little bit deeper. Yes, it's 2 less pace than both of them, but actually he's got a lot more stats in certain other areas that do help Dante. Is it worth the I think 90k it was before today? That's debatable, but it's got better sort of physical stats. It's got better other sort of specific stats which are good for a centre back to have. So for 2 less pace
and 4-star weak foot.
If that says 81 and 4-star weak foot as well, but if that says 81 pace, if that ties the pace of a Marquinhos, then I think a lot of people would look at that slightly differently.
Yeah, I agree.
2 less.
I agree.
They go, oh, it's in the 70s.
And also,
because let's be honest, there's probably 2 best centre backs in the game, up there for 2 of the best centre backs. So not saying they are the 2 best, but they're up there for 2 of the best centre backs at the moment. You can't expect every day of the week to have a top 3 centre back or top 3 in a position player to come out in an SBC.
No,
you can't expect that at this point in the game, at least.
I think as well that he's going to get done for a lot of people's like untradeable squads, because like the chances that people have packed an untradeable Kimpembe and Marquinhos this year is going to be slim. So, but the chances that they've packed one of them, you know, obviously higher. So to be able to do a Dante and have 2 very good untradeable centre backs, whichever partnership that is, I think is he's going to get done. I've seen generally across Twitter when the SBC came out, other than the fact that people were happy you put the price of a Tiles inform up, was the fact that everyone seemed divided. A lot of people were saying, you know, is 79 pace now still behind the curve as we're getting some more like defenders at 83, 84 pace. If you think pace is that important, then probably, but generally what we've seen from this year, pace on defenders isn't actually as significant as it needed to be in the past. Like defensive
pace generally, I'd argue pace generally is
defensive stats and physicality stats are just as important.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. As for the team 1, we've got some interesting like looking cards in here. We've got some new names like this Rip Hart, which is probably the biggest interesting one because he's a striker with CM stats. Basically,
he looks like a good box to box. Very good.
And he's only 16.5k. I feel like I want to maybe pick him, like buy one and try it out because it is a very interesting looking card with those sort of like stats that he's got on it. Obviously, the most expensive card in there is Dembele, who is becoming a familiar face, shall we say, with some promos every year. No, not at all. Yeah, like I'd say last 3 or 4 years, he's like pretty much he's either had a FUT birthday or like freeze. Yeah,
I mean, as I always say, FUT birthday. FUT birthday is one when people start using it's oversaturated. I always start to take some umbrage with them. It's like, this person got a FUT birthday. Well, the whole point is nostalgia. You can't put new people. It's like a card that's not been good throughout the year being in footies. Like, you don't expect that. The point of the promo, the point of FUT birthday is to celebrate the past and players of the past that are used a lot. Yeah. So when people complain about Vidal being in there, another Vidal card. FUT birthday Vidal.
And the thing is as well, though,
you're only great in past FIFAs.
You are only going to see the repeating of that players in FUT birthday because they do repeat players.
Yeah.
If they didn't, then they'd be able to
promo.
flashback. They'd be able to flashback to different cards, but unfortunately, as we've mentioned, EA haven't been that varied over the years. But this one, I think actually, like for me, there was quite a few in there that had varied cards, and I was a lot happy with this than maybe the RTTK. Certainly Team 1.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people that I'm sure will be up in arms that, another Zachariah card. Oh, another Rudiger. Remember he gets cards like that all the time. Like, but then they'll complain about Barkhausen getting a card. Who wants this guy?
Yeah.
You people really need to stop fence sitting and complaining about one thing, and then complain when the other happens as well.
Yeah.
Interesting fact: Rudiger has only had
Carnival.
2 other previous cards.
It was not Carnival. It's the Carnival. Was
The Carnival
Showdown.
one, and then the Showdown.
Yeah.
So, and that's it. And considering that he's been around for a good amount of time, I wouldn't even be too fussed about that. Seeing a Rudiger, I wouldn't say he's a usual suspect. To be fair, like Unika, the Nigerian. Yeah, Brentford, never seen him, obviously, because
Brentford.
they're not really going to normally go for
silver cards last year.
Yeah.
So you're not going to go for that.
But he looks quite of a good-looking card.
He looked like an
pace
OP
and stuff
starter.
like that.
He looked like a great starter card, yeah.
He was in every single starter team pre-FIFA when it was like, okay, pace is exactly going to matter.
89 pace CDM or something?
Something like that. It was something outrageous.
I mean, his pace hasn't got his pace has gone down, I think, and then it's just like
because that's kind of what they're doing, is that they're robbing
like that,
stats off another one to
so
replenish the rest.
5 pace off of him from his 87 to an 82 to then buff most other stats is very good. It's the same thing they did with Dembele.
Yeah.
Obviously with Haaland they went slightly different, as he's the other big name in this. They boosted his pace a little bit but dropped his shooting by 4.
Yeah.
But then they've given him 90 passing, which I like that. 800k is a lot for that. It makes him very dangerous. 800k is not something I'm willing to pay for that much extra passing, but it's a Haaland special card, which I think is why. Honestly, passing is an important stat this year, because obviously you've seen where passing ends up if you've got someone who's not got quite
a balance. He's got a good amount. He got +8 on balance, Haaland.
So that takes him to 80 on the button.
80.
But it's very it's a big jump from fodder to to a 800k card, usable card. Like you look at say anyone else who's fodder in that promo, like a David Silva, and it's not quite the same upgrade in terms of price to be a usable card, is it? Or
No, I mean that's still a very usable card in my opinion.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. Is that
David Silva.
like in terms of the comparison from the base card to that, he has. I think I agree. Haaland, don't get me wrong. Yeah, like you say, passing's very important this year, but 800k, that's a bit much.
That's a tad steep, but like when that eventually drops, I don't see it being Kane of last year, because obviously Kane last year going from 60 to 70 pace to 91, I think it was.
Yeah, something like that.
It's not going to be that levels in terms of rule breakers. I think the Dembele wasn't a very smart one. That one's an insane card. Honestly, Dembele dropping his pace slightly, even you could slap a hunter on him and he's back to max stats on pace. And then he's still got all these more well-rounded stats elsewhere.
Yeah, and as I said beforehand, I play him at striker
card
in my actual team, so to have all that extra shooting would be really handy. But I certainly don't have 900,000 coins or whatever he's at now to go and buy him.
Just get some 78 upgrades, clearly.
Yeah.
18 of them get you Rulebreakers from what I've heard. Isn't that right, Mers?
Yeah.
Yep, basically.
Okay, I'm gonna do 18 and get myself Dembele. That's simple.
That's a sound strategy. Well, you get a legal one. It's all.
No, you're gonna get Quartos. I'm sorry.
I've already got that, man.
Already packed him. Yeah.
We've already both got that covered.
Yeah.
But have you packed the cheapest one as well? The Barkusen?
No, he's
No,
literally the
I
only
haven't
one I
opened
packed.
packs really since that.
Quartes.
Same here. Quartes is
the
the only one for me.
So I've packed Casemiro, the Tom, and Sebastian Quartes. That's all I've packed so far.
So obviously there's Team 2 incoming as well. Based on implied off the word Team 1, I honestly My thoughts of last week was they're surely going to give a promo a week's break because they're going to keep going. They're milking this.
I have a new theory
too much.
now.
I thought they were going to have one little break.
I have a new theory, and I think it's because of what is happening to them at the end of this FIFA.
I feel saw something about that today.
I feel like they're going to just be going absolute ham in trying to get as much money out of this because they know come next year, even if they say they completely replatform the game and make it something else, they're going to have competitors next year. They genuine competitors. So I think they know that their multi-billion-pound money-making FIFA every year is maybe going to take a bit of a hit. So this is, I think we are going to get probably, in terms of promos, the best content we've ever seen. Whether people will think it's the best content, because like you say, people still have problems with certain cards and things and that. I do think that is going to be the way they go, and I think we're just going to get just absolutely flooded with promos. And I think that was signified in the fact that they're doing these 2-week promos but ending it on a Wednesday so that they can smash that next one out on a Friday. So I think I'll be very surprised if we see any more than sort of 2 days in between promo. We might get the odd week off here and there, but nowhere near as much as we had last year. They want the money.
Well, I heard a thing that they've actually renewed a license for, I think, for 10 years. Not with the players, not with the teams.
Right. Okay.
Is something I've heard on Twitter. So I don't know if that was. Okay. It's not the most valid source in the world, but I did see something saying they had a license renew.
Okay.
So 10 years on that, but not the club. So we can see more going to the likes of Pez, or sorry, I can't remember its other name.
Goal.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yes,
eFootball.
eFootball.
eFootball. That's it.
But yeah, also the one that's being backed by Spencer as well, coming in next year, because that's not launching one this year. It's going full in next year, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So
something like that. Yeah.
So that's going to be probably the main competitor. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So we'll see how they react. Obviously, you could absolutely be right, but they are still having some plan for some longevity based off what I've heard.
Okay. So, as I mentioned about them sort of going ham for money, and we talk about money all the time when it comes to FIFA, a lot of people would have paid extra money to have gotten the Ultimate Edition. So they would be entitled to their one free hero player that they are going to get, which we talked about actually, I think, in our first podcast, because it was originally a pick, or the way it was worded was basically suggested it was going to be a pick, then it changed to a pack. Now, as well as that, on top of it, they've gone and released a hero SBC for everybody to do a month exactly to the day before they release everybody's free hero into that. So hero SBC, I will just go and get it up on the screen, is a 3 SBC completion with an 83, an 85 and an 86, requiring 2 Team of the Week players. Now obviously at this point we're now 5 weeks into FIFA. It really probably isn't realistically this alone going to raise fodder prices. So just simply on the fact that everybody at this point has got this amount of fodder to do this SBC potentially for free, or mostly for free. Have you guys done this yet? Do you want to reveal who you've got, and if you have?
Yes, I did. I got a win, and I got Joe Cole.
Oh, okay. That's a nice one.
Yeah,
that's a nice one.
Solid player.
I,
on the other hand, got Newcastle's favourite, El Jabba. So following the takeover, there'll be shirts printed with that name, hopefully coming in soon. It's not good. No, not what I want. At least it's a strong link to Talisca. I was thinking of getting him, but I am falling out of love with Talisca as well. So, it's
maybe this is the right person to revive it, to give you a chance to give Talisca a chance.
I mean, he gave him a chance in Weekend League and it didn't end the best. But honestly, with this SBC, it did cause a spike in certain cards. I mean, I looked at Chiellini as one. That shot up a little bit. Just because I was looking at cheapest 86s. He's up to his max price. He is extinct. From 8k, he's gone to 12 extinct. So prices are currently high. It doesn't look like it will last forever, obviously, but fodder prices are definitely going up.
Yeah.
As a result of this SBC, which people want the market to sort of fix itself. This isn't going to fix it fully, but let's have a look at someone like Andre Silva. You know, the GOAT at 84 rated. He's currently gone up about 500 coins, so he's 2-3.
Yeah, I can confirm 87s have gone up by 4k.
Okay.
So there is some
there's going to be a spike
recovery
today, basically, because this is the new shiny thing to happen. As far as like, obviously this is the first year that we've seen hero cards at all. But how do you generally though feel about it coming out before everybody's going to get a free one?
Well, I would just like to retort by saying, when do you expect Icon SBCs to come out? Because when they come out last year, December.
Yeah, I think start of December.
When were they going to release
end
heroes?
Of November.
End of November, even better. My question is, when were they going to release the guaranteed hero? Because they absolutely would. They absolutely should. Because they're not going to give the free one away and then go afterwards, oh, by the way, here, you can do as many. You can do this one as well. You can get another free one. At that point, it's way past the time that you're going to want to use them. They had to do it somewhat early. This is probably a decent enough time to do it, rather than talk about, oh, we're robbing the people that are going to get it in a month and they're going to get a dupe. Think about it from, they needed to get this out at some point. They weren't going to, if they did it any earlier than this, realistically, it could have absolutely broken Champs more than it would. And then if not, if they left it later than this, you're just going even more into the, but only in 2 weeks, or only in exactly 1 week, or only in exactly 3 weeks, then there's going to be a hero SBC, and then we'd get more people up in arms about it. So this is probably the most acceptable time they could have done it, in all honesty. They were always going to do it, because if you make Icon SBCs, people go, well, why hasn't there been a hero SBC? Like, when this was probably the best time for it, and making it repeatable would just crash even some of the okay ones on the market. So it was always going to be a one-off.
Do you think
you probably see repeatable ones probably around Team of the Year, maybe February, March?
Do you think that with this though, because they've now released this, which has obviously devalued the price of hero cards, we've seen I think most of them seem to be down about 50k, like the high sort of usable ones. Do you think that with that, then they should have put, well, you'll get your hero card on the 1st of November?
No, but then when would they do this SBC then? Because this SBC would have needed to have come out at some point. It couldn't have come out any earlier than this. People would say, what's the point releasing them after the guaranteed one that we're already getting?
Could you not release them at the same time? So essentially, those that did pay the extra money to pre-order the game get one, but also if they don't get a very good one, have the option to get a second one.
But then you'd see all the people bitch and moan if it's I've paid extra, so I should get my bonus. Why are people getting the exact same bonus and possibly getting better stuff than I did from this? You will see that resentment start to come in. So, like, they them pushing it forward was never going to be a sensible option. They had to have these cards in at a certain point. Probably December they will be starting to decline in terms of relevance and use. But if they put them in too early, then that would have been a separate issue.
Yeah. Okay.
Because then you'd have everyone running a Genola or a Di Natale or a Keane or anything like that, and then people would start to go, it's too meta, Champs is too painful, even though people already complain that Champs is painful because everyone's got PSG teams. Like, this is probably the best solution they could have done. Given the situation, the SBC had to come out at some point. Putting it out a month before everyone gets one allows time for people to pick one up and then people to get their bonus one that they were guaranteed. Rather than releasing them same day, that would have been awful. There would have been such a moan. Like, it's probably the safest time to have done it.
Okay.
But not only that, but not everyone is going to be getting the hero card that all got the Ultimate Edition, because you had to pre-order it before the 11th of August anyway to get that bonus hero pack anyway. So anyone who pre-ordered it after that, I don't think it bothers them when the pack comes out. But for me, like quoting what Luke said, like in a previous episode, like if they release it too early, it takes a bit of the shine off of the brand new toy that they've released for like FIFA 22, which is all these hero cards and stuff. Because then every Tom, Dick and Harry basically would own one, or nearly everyone owns one, and then it's like, well, it's not as special then. So it's given the opportunity for those that have had money or had a bit of luck packing one to have the ability to try them out and stuff like that before then it just goes mass with everybody having one. So I think, again, I think it's personally a good time. Like if you release it too early, then people complain that maybe fodder rose too quickly, whereas in this it's like fodder's risen gradually, so that maybe, and also people will have enough time to potentially have collected enough fodder to do it. Because like for myself doing the SBC, I had pretty much everything in the club, but I had to buy like 2 players and spend like 40k or something like that. So, and generally speaking, if you release it too early, people might not have the coins to go out and buy everything to finish it off, and they might not have the fodder in the club to do it. So I think this is perfect time to release it.
And especially considering my point about the Icon SBC, I think is probably the most important one. If people still want them the end of November, beginning of December, this had to be done beforehand. Otherwise, what's the point? Pretty much most of the icons are better than most of the heroes, obviously excluding a Ginola and a Di Natale mainly. Like at that point you're going to be, this is a disappointment. I've already got a better player that links to everyone rather than a strong link to just this guy.
True.
So they had to do it in order, otherwise they get power creeped way too quickly, and they're irrelevant. But all this mention of champs, obviously with the previous topic, we have been playing champs this weekend. I don't know about you, Mers, but I know me and Brad definitely did.
I have. This is unreal. This is a new era for me.
It is. This is unheard of. And
it is unheard of.
How did you get on, Brad?
So it's not really. I suppose it's not really about how I got on. I kind of this format suits me, is what I'm going to say. So this format suits me because I found it. I want to say easy to qualify. I gave my last game away, so I qualified with 1 game spare, and I found it fairly easy. When I say like a lot of my games I won quite convincingly, so I found it quite easy to qualify. And then, do you know what, when I got into it and I looked at the rewards and things, and I thought, do you know what, I just really, for my first week, I don't have a lot of time. I only had like the Friday to get maybe a maximum of sort of 7 or 8 games done. I looked at it and I thought, I'm just going to take the 4 wins. I'm just going to go for 4 wins. Take the rank 4, and basically it's essentially what, gold 2 of last year.
Near enough, yeah.
Which I would have, if I'd have played all 30 games, would have reached maybe. Like I was that kind of player. So I could get to gold 2, but I'd have to play all my 30 games. Whereas this time I think I played 8 FUT Champs games to get my 4 wins. And so I was 4-4, and I got Upamecano and Galaxy in my reds. If you've not seen it or have seen it, did a rewards video where my brother got rank 2, always gets either rank 2 or rank 1. Got terrible red picks and didn't get anything of note. Basically, I think in his team of the week pack he got a tradable Upa, was his best pull. Yeah, my other mate, the same as me, only had 1 day to play them. He wanted to get his 8 wins, got rank 3, gets Alaba in his first red pick, Mo Salah in his second red pick, and then goes and packs himself a Ousmane Dembele in his jumbo rare player pack, tradable. So, there's a lot to be said at the moment. Like I feel like this year is a much more relaxed way of playing the champs. Like I feel like you don't, if you can do less for more rewards. So in that sense, I think there's less pressure around it, and I quite like that, because trying to play 30 games last year and like I say, thinking I might not even get gold 2 was stressful, whereas this year, once you're qualified, you only have to get 4 wins out of 20 games. And if you play 20 games and you play them all on a Sunday night, you might even get given 4 wins. So I played my 8. I gave away my other 12. I set up my bronze squad and gave my other 12 wins away. So you're welcome, all those people. You got on
I did
quite well?
not get that much of a benefit. I did not. Last time, I spoke about pride of getting gold 3. I was happy. That was technically elite, or what I would class as elite. I didn't get a single gifted win this weekend. But as a nice little trade-off, we got rank 2 instead. So we actually went up one bit higher and got 12 and 8 going into the last game.
Nice.
It was down to the wire.
GG's.
It was a lot of stress, only to get 2 versions of, who was it? An 84 that wasn't Smith Rowe.
What was the stress part about it for you? I'm curious.
Stress part, well, trying to get as high as possible. Is stress. Okay. Last game, like further and further. It was a lot of positivity. It was not as bad as playing champs last year. I was actually fairly positive throughout.
Yeah. Even
when losing, I was going, it's fine. Like, guys aren't playing me. Wasn't actually getting mad, which.
So it was more like the pressure you put on yourself to get as good as you wanted to get.
Pretty much. I always try and reach as high a ceiling as possible. Obviously, last time out I did, because of the community giving me so many wins, I did stop, even though it was, I think I was 8 and... I feel I was 8 and 8 at the time, or something close to that, so I wasn't hitting rank 2 last time, so I gave the 3 wins away. This one was a full-on slog. Okay. We did get the job done, but we did not get the rewards you'd want from it. I'll have to look at the team of the week to see how I got. I believe I got Oliver Torres because I got a dupe 84.
Okay, so he's 81. Yeah, not ideal.
I got Simeone. That was the other 84.
I think he was like the most common that I saw.
I had Simeone and Smith Rowe in the first one. I picked Simeone because I'm not picking an Arsenal player. Then got Simeone in the last one. So I ended up picking Oliver Torres, and I believe I picked, I'm gonna say Gunter or Candreva in the other one.
Okay.
Or that might be Tadic. I don't know why I've got a gut instinct it was Tadic, but it might have been Tadic.
Yeah.
We did get a Mason Mount in the team of the week pack, which is okay. Obviously, still not the same value, but hey, he's there. He's a solid enough card, and he suits the kind of series we're doing with our non-meta player reviews at the moment. So that's a non-meta right forward that absolutely could see use.
Yep.
But we got a Coman in the 100k pack. Like, nothing outrageous, but I saw someone else's rank ones and they didn't even get a board.
Okay.
They got a board. Sorry, they got a board from their 125k pack for rank 1. So it makes me appreciate Coman just a little bit more.
Yeah, just a tad more.
Knowing that. Sorry, not your day on that one. But talking of not your day, not your 4 months, with Nuno Espirito Santo, started so well and then fell off immediately after the international break. Honestly, it's been coming. I believe even you said at the time, like the results with the 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. You were saying like it's not exciting. I was at the time saying the results are there. I don't care about the football. If the results are still coming in, it's fine. The results dried up near enough immediately afterwards. And then a bunch of 3-0, 3-0, 3-1, 3-0, 1-0, 3-0, all coming in. Loss in the Europa League Europa Conference League to the Tess. It was becoming an untenable situation. Like it feels rushed, but it also felt necessary.
Do you think that it feels rushed in a way because there's we certainly have named a couple more managers that probably should have gone before him, arguably?
No, not even that. No, just if you think sort of Spurs being what we like, I'm gonna say 7th, 8th in the table at the moment. I'll double check that. But we're not bottom half. We're 8th. We're not bottom half. We're still just about top half of the table. But realistically, it's the manner of the performances, the manner of the losses, and it's only 4 months in. 4 months in and 8th place is, or now 9th. Wolves have gone above us temporarily based off the match happening right now.
Right this moment, 2-0.
At this moment, they are 2-0 up. They go 7th. So they go above us and Brighton and Leicester and Everton and so many others. But basically, Nuno, it just wasn't a good style of football. When you have a front three of Kane, Son, and Mora, and you're barely registering a shot,
yeah,
you know that group can play. Like, obviously Kane's not doing well. I've said in the past, and I will continue to say, he should probably be dropped for Bergwijn. Try something different for a game, because the 3 games we did do well in, Kane I think only played about 10 to 20 minutes. Those 3 wins at the start of the season. So
yeah, and then we see Bergwijn come on eventually and get absolute. Well, yeah, Nuno, whoever it was the boos were aimed at, get absolutely booed because they've taken Lucas Moura off, who arguably is creating a lot more than anybody else.
He creates a lot more. He's a cult hero in a sense for that Ajax game.
Yes.
I feel he's a criminally underrated player for us. The significance he has in the team, his ability to take on a man, his dribbling ability generally. Like he's a decent little player.
Yeah.
I just don't think he gets his due. But getting subbed off in a match like that, he was pretty much our main creative outlet in that match. To be hooked off for Bergwijn, I mean, nothing against Bergwijn. I don't particularly think the most highly of him at Tottenham, but
it's kind of, the decision is kind of like I'm listening to the fans, but I'm not watching the game. That's kind of what it seems like, isn't it? I'm bringing the player on that everyone's saying, oh yeah, but you're not actually listening
that much. But it would have been starting. Because obviously, if you start Kane, you're not going to exactly take Kane off mid-match.
No.
Realistically, he needed to not start that match against someone. I'm not going to say the United match. It could have been against a different team, but Kane's performances have not been there. 1 goal this season so far? I'm sort of outside of the Conference League where he got, I think, a hat-trick.
Yeah, we said at the start, didn't we, that he looked lackluster, like he didn't want to be there, basically.
He just... You need to drop him. He's as much as I appreciate what he's done for the club, as much as I would love to see him and Son link up some more and break that record that's set by Drogba and Lampard. Yeah. Still, I think they're about 3 off that. It's just not looking. It's just not looking good. It seems to be Conte is the one coming in.
Looks
now,
likely. Yep.
Do you think that
makes me excited if that is the case? But obviously he needs backing. Levy has been spending a fair bit in recent windows. Not going to say he hasn't. Certain people have gone to me and said the exact point that, well, he needs backing. Is Levy's probably going to be the problem in that situation? Obviously, he's spent a fair bit in recent times buying the likes of Romero, Emerson. In previous windows before that, you've got the likes of Lo Celso and Ndombele coming in the same window.
Yeah.
Like, we've been spending a fair bit. Like, it's not the backing, it's just not mainly been in the right areas. I feel we were still maybe a centre-back shy, but that's fine. Like, the centre-back partnership worked at the start of the season, but honestly, I think Conte will get the backing.
I don't know if it's they are, because I've read that they're only going to offer him an 18-month contract, which is surely, as a Spurs fan, offering a manager of that quality a short-term contract is probably not reassuring. Surely,
well,
if you're gonna,
you don't know how much of that's him though. Like that could easily be hit. That's not Levy. I think Levy would want to offer him a bit more.
Yeah,
but for context, that's 2 seasons.
It is, isn't it? It's 2 season contract.
Saying 18 months is less than 2 years, but we are somewhat into this already.
Yes,
that would basically cover until the end of the 2nd season.
Yeah.
So obviously it gives us options in terms of we can, if it's going well, obviously try and extend it. If not, if it's a bit more of a poison chalice, then Levy saves a little bit of money on sacking, which I mean, I don't want to think about that, but what I'd say is that Conte is known to be sometimes difficult. I mean, look at his final days at Chelsea as an example.
Yeah.
But he absolutely can work wonders for some bang average players as well.
Yeah,
so
I think,
and he's not just known for his free back. He has had some revolutionary stuff with, I believe, 4-4-2 before, and the likes. So he's not just a one-trick pony. He's got more strings in his bow. But basically, he could absolutely make someone. He made Victor Moses a good right back for a couple seasons. So that was a right wing back specifically. So you might see the best out of Matt Doherty finally, and the third or fourth manager to try. So there's hope, but obviously it's not concrete yet. But basically, you just want to see the style of football change because it's not been exciting. There's nothing to be excited about. There's not been a attacking flair. There's been nothing to cheer about really since
nothing to get
the
behind.
Temporarily top of the league. Yeah, you go behind early. You sort of flounder. You don't really put up much of a fight. It's sort of been like watching a relegation team in the last few weeks.
But the problem is under Conte, you're not really going to get necessarily exciting football because he's not really. He's more of a defensive manager than someone who's renowned for being an offensive style manager.
Yeah.
So.
But he can get sparks out of the players.
Yeah.
Look at.
He can get. Yeah.
Look at some of the results Chelsea used to get under Conte in the season where Spurs actually did fairly well and could have won the title.
And that's
the season I wouldn't say we bottled it. Well, I mean,
is that the season that they won the title?
That was the season they won the title. Yes, Chelsea won the title, and we were close behind, but we were never ahead. We just sort of kept chase, and they won. What was it? 27 games.
Yeah, they won a load because of a certain team beat them, and that's when Conte switched to the three at the back, i.e. Arsenal beat them. That's when they switched to the three at the back, and they went on that 20+ game unbeaten streak. So
you can do more than the free back. Is important to note as well.
I don't know.
He's also sold sinking ships such as Chelsea before. Chelsea under Mourinho was absolutely torrid. This is still basically, to be fair, this is basically still Mourinho's squad for Tottenham. So if he's already picked up from Mourinho's mess once. So that could be a positive that he's been in the exact situation before.
What did these two?
Obviously, I'd say they have a lot more class.
Forget it.
But basically, it's a bit more of a mess than Chelsea had. Let's not pretend it's not. Chelsea may have finished 10th that season, and then he's taken them to be incredible. But I think they had a lot more class in the team. I think even as a Spurs fan, without bias, Chelsea had a lot better players than we do currently.
Yeah.
In that 10th place finishing team, a Willian that could actually fire, Hazard, Diego Costa. Those, I mean, obviously you compare Kane, Son, you can put them up against them. That's fine. But then he had a much better defensive unit as well. He had he has the cogs there. It's a slightly worse team than he would have inherited from Mourinho, but there's hope.
I mean, if you're willing to spend 9 figures in January,
it's
I
been
think
promised
obviously,
from what I've heard.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, I think you need to. I think that partly is why Conte. If it's Conte's side that's saying 18 months, I think that's why. I think he wants to see that backing, basically, the proof in the pudding before actually committing or something like that.
Yeah,
because I think that's what you're talking about.
Slimy little,
with the sour last days with Chelsea was because of the pure fact that Chelsea wouldn't fully back him in the transfers, and
they're bringing Chelsea of Lukaku as an example.
Yeah, basically, and then they were choosing their own signings rather than Conte choosing the signings. I think that was what it mainly was.
I think I have to try and find the thing on Twitter again. Twitter being the great oracle for me today. In all this, basically, I believe I saw a whole short list of players that he was interested in with Conte, which a bunch of them are highly unrealistic. Because I believe I saw Federico Chiesa's name in that. So that's not happening. That's just not happening.
Juventus badly need to keep hold of him anyway.
Yeah, it's so the source is Calcio Mercato. So I think that's it's Italian. But an Italian magazine said Antonio Conte has made very specific Tottenham requests. He's identified Stefan de Vrij, Matthias de Ligt, Romagnoli, Brozovic, Chiesa and Vlahovic as potential targets. Mm-hmm. So how many of them we land, that'll be interesting to see which one of those stick.
Okay.
But yeah,
I think you probably would get an Inter player or two.
I think we'd get maybe. I think we'd go in for De Vrij. Obviously, Inter Milan weren't in the best financial situation, so we could try and nab him. I said nab him or Skriniar many a time before the season started. As the extra centre back we get.
De Vrij and Romero centre back partnership doesn't look too bad, does it?
Exactly, you know, that looked great during Team of the Season last year. Imagine that in the back line as a strong link.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bring it back to FIFA, it's all good, but
well, talking of FIFA, obviously with weekend football does come Team of the Week.
Yes, it does.
Looking at the predictions for this week, I mean, personally, other than sort of the exception of maybe 1 or 2 cards, it looks pretty dead, if I'm honest. These are only the predictions, obviously nothing is set in stone here, and the one I'm looking at, none of them have the boosted featured Team of the Week card on there. I've seen one that suggests Tavernier getting it.
Yes, he's the one that I've got.
As an 84, would look very, very nice indeed. Surprise, surprise, the guy's going to get probably several informs over the year, as he always does. But the biggest one to talk about is Vinicius Jr. I saw, after seeing this prediction, that his Team of the Week card has been put on the market and is plummeting in price as we speak, no doubt. Because obviously anyone wanting to get rid of that before that goes in the mud. Other than that, obviously Correa had a good game for Inter, scored both their goals. He's got a one to watch as well as getting this in form. Then there's Yannick Carrasco, looks nice as an 86 rated card. Muller obviously is always ever fodder until he gets a Team of the Season or a sort of a bonus card, basically like a Rulebreaker in the next Team of the Week. Next Team 2 would be good.
Maybe, but then we complain that he always gets Halloween
this
cards
is true.
He already got 2 previously.
Di Maria, I know not a lot of people like to use him because I think his weak foot is
2-star.
2-star, yeah. Again, then we're looking at, so surprisingly here for me is that Gabriel is in the centre back. I thought Ramsdale was a shoe-in to be the Arsenal in form.
Yeah, I think so as well. He got man of the match. Outrageous saves.
But it is Gabriel here at the moment, obviously because he scored. But yeah, I think it probably will end up being Ramsdale. So that's the one I wouldn't expect
it could be
to
both.
see.
You never know.
It's not often they do that, though, is it?
There's been multiples before, though. It doesn't happen often, but there have been multiple from the same team.
We've got James. I think that's obviously, a given.
Yeah.
Fired in a nice couple of strikes.
Controversially denied a hat-trick by Jorginho.
He was, but Jorginho... It is one of them things, isn't it? When the guy takes the penalty, and especially the percentage conversion rate that he has, you
I'd have loved to have seen a repeat of the Euros final with that, of the hop, skip and jump routine being saved.
Yes.
That would have... Not just because Chelsea being Chelsea and Spurs fan, but just to give Reece James a little bit more of a reason to go, you bloody idiot.
Yeah. Then the other sort of big one there is Kier, and then Gallagher from Crystal Palace, who is looking like a very good player for them. I've got to admit, I do like seeing him on the ball. In the lower ones, there is a former Tottenham player in Vinicius at PSV, and Mitrovic getting a nice card. I mean, there's a few. I mean, none of them really scream out. Tavernier, obviously, some people won't mind getting as the lower rated person in their reds, but generally, it's going to be Vinicius. The Delort card that's rumoured looks nice. I think if he does get a couple of informs for Nice this year, his like an 86, that card will look pretty good.
Very nice. It's already looking very nice.
It's already looking nice now, and also he gets the hyperlink to a towel.
He does.
So that, and then people can hybrid away from that with Mahrez into the Prem or something. So that is a very nice looking card, and I would actually maybe like to try and use that to see what he is like in game anyway. But yeah, it doesn't look that great. Obviously, Norwich lost again, 2-1 to Leeds this time. Farke still seems to manage to keep his job, as does Ollie. Due to,
Yes.
I mean, let's face it, they must.
Well, Sakako happened.
They must both be on the thinnest of ice at the moment. I think Ollie probably has the backing a little bit more than Farke does. I think everyone's calling for him to go now. I think it's time that he's already had one stint up and had his chance to sort of keep Norwich afloat, and before we get more than 10 games in, which we are now at, he needs to really, it needs to be passed over to someone else to see what they can do with that team, because it's not like they haven't made signings.
I will say on the team of the week that I've seen possibly Gallagher might even be the Silver Stars, which would make a little bit of sense.
I saw someone ask for it.
With that being given, that we've not had a Prem one yet. So we've had a Serie A, we've had a La Liga,
Spanish League.
First one was Ligue 1, Mexican League.
Yeah.
It could be Gallagher's turn to maybe make the Prem one, which that could be a nice card.
That would be a nice card, yeah, to be fair. Yeah.
And obviously
could be a Rulebreakers as well, mind.
Yeah. I've seen some other this team of the week that I'm seeing. I've got maybe a different one here. It's got a Diego Carlos and a Carrasco in, which look fairly tasty.
Yeah, Carrasco's on here. He looks alright, yeah.
They look like nice cards, but if I'm being honest, my anti-meta sort of videos are tingling that I see two Serbians that could link to that Tadic that I like so much.
Yeah,
Mitrovic and Vlahovic.
Yeah, I see him.
Probably Vlahovic would be the more likely one to happen. Yeah. Not in terms of team of the week, but video, because Serie A. How much am I going to get from it? Or I could drop Mitrovic into the Rulebreakers Championship guy, the Preston guy. There we go.
Yeah.
Thinking of ideas on the spot. You might see one of those at the end of the week.
Yeah.
So that's pre-planning, and then just going to get let down on Wednesday and cry. But
and I mean the main thing to take from this is a goal and assist is not enough for EA to give CR7 a team of the week card.
He's already got a special card, doesn't he? Let's be honest.
I replied
not on
to
the
somebody
market, but
that basically put the prediction up and said, "Where's CR7?" Someone put that on Twitter, and my simple reply was, "I'm pretty sure this guy needs to get a hat-trick of combined goals and assists before EA will consider giving him an upgrade." I
don't know about that.
I think two goals and an assist.
Sure, 2 goals. And
yeah, 2 goals and an assist, or 2 assists and a goal, or something. I just think he's not going to get one for 1 goal and assist, even if he is the only player that week that's got a goal and an assist. It's just.
And I think the same goes for Haaland. Like
we saw it last year, he was meant to get one.
Yeah.
It was like, I think it was. He was meant to get one so much, and then the next promo, everyone thought, they haven't given it to him because he's going to be in the promo, and he wasn't. And it's just, I just think they just want to try and stay away from.
I think logically they were trying to do it for a reason of, who remembers? I'm going to say FIFA 15, where there was about 299 Ronaldos, there was 298, there was the orange 95, there was the record breaker 92, whichever one it was, 94 maybe. There was the hero card. There was so many Ronaldos being put out that I think they're trying to avoid that happening and just go to progress by one, and then maybe they'll repeat 99s, maybe come footies like they did last year.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're holding off the higher rated cards. They've already given a 92. They've already given 92, isn't it? The Player of the Month card out.
Yes.
So that exists.
Yeah.
So he's already got a special card, not on the market, but nonetheless, his next card would probably be 93.
Yeah. Exactly.
So they're going to have to be more selective with it. Otherwise, you're going to see absolutely broken cards, and they're already absolutely broken if there's a Ronaldo coming out anyway. But you know what I mean. Even more and more ceiling too early.
Yeah,
it's all about progression.
10 and a bit months still to go of the cycle to go. So
and if he if he peters out, they can absolutely give him a promo card. If that's the solution to get a Ronaldo card in circulation, if people go, there's not a special Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't a Neymar for ages. He got a team of the week finally in January.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's ways they can just add someone into a promo and go, look, there's that player that you so wanted.
Yeah.
It's one of those sort of catch-22s that you don't want it to go too early, but you want it to be out because you want to try and get it. So you don't want to have the progression be absolutely neutered by having like 3 Ronaldos in 4 months.
How well is he doing in the Champions League? Because it could always be team of the tournament or something like that.
He shows up,
team
doesn't
of
he?
the group stages. Yeah.
So they lost.
That-
I know
that-
they lost the young boys. He's done. He scored the last-minute winner
Scored the
against
last-minute winner
Villarreal.
against Atalanta, didn't he?
Was it Atalanta?
Yeah.
It was Atalanta.
So-
I think Villarreal as well, possibly.
Again,
as well.
if you do that,
You might get a team in a group stage. Basically, is what I'm implying.
That's what I'm getting. Yeah, exactly. And then there you go. There's his 93 rated card, and then like team of the year is obviously in January or end of December. Well,
Would he
beginning
get
of
it
January
though?
or
Or
something
would he
like
be 12th man? Are we saying, or what would be?
He's surely got to be in there. They'll probably rig it. If he's not in the first 11, it'll probably be rigged 12th man or something like that.
What's he realistically done this year?
I don't know, but
who's
it's EA. They're gonna make a way to make sure that he gets like a team of the year or something like that.
I mean, they've put him in as a 12th man option before. It comes down to the community somewhat and an independent sort of stuff.
Oh, I don't know. I think they rig the votes sometimes.
Oh, probably somewhat. You know.
Yeah.
Tinfoil hat over there.
Here we go. Oh, to be fair, I'm pretty certain you tinfoil had last week. It's my turn next week. I'll think of something. I'll work hard on it, guys.
There definitely is.
Actually, no.
Yeah.
I know what it is. I'm just going to call it on bonus draft builder again. There we go.
All right.
That's
Check
my
that out
tinfoil hat
Sunday.
moment weekly.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick your formation and
Damn
your
well not.
nation again.
No.
You?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
For those of us listening, I'm gesturing camera saying no. Stern look and everything. Not happening.
I mean, to be fair, if I was to do FUT Champs this weekend and for red pick wise, I'd happily take a Tavernier or a Reece James, I think.
Yeah, gladly.
Yeah.
I'll take the Law. I'll take a Correa. Obviously, Di Maria for rating. Fabian, maybe. Like, that's a 66 pace, even for me, on a centre mid. Like, I say centre mids with 60 to 70 pace work. Its 60s are bordering on, okay,
Yeah.
let's get realistic, but 70 is definitely usable. 66, I think, is usable if he gets that. So I'd be okay with that. Pellegrini, I'm seeing as one, possibly. Like, I'd take that. Grillsich for a centre-back, if he gets it. Looks okay. There's okay cards in there.
Yeah. In terms of my team,
okay.
none of them get in.
No.
Fair enough.
I say none of them get in. What I mean is,
my teams.
yeah, none of them
absolutely
slot into my team.
None of them slot into my team.
I would have to
I don't
change
see my
things.
Bundesliga.
Yeah, I would have to change things.
I don't see much Bundesliga, so that would be my team not slotted into, but I'd absolutely rework like I did to get my Rafinha in.
So I think that is it with the team of the week, and pretty much most of the FIFA and football related stuff. And we're gonna go into the Q&A. Now we've got 3 questions from one person in particular here. I think I'm gonna start off with the hottest topic that we were discussing beforehand: pizzas. He's asking. Out of 10, rate this pizza, which is one of my favourites to order. Olives, anchovies, sausage and pepperoni. That's literally all he's put. He's not talking about
You can
like
start,
what
Luke,
type
I'm
of crust
livid.
No, I think we should
also-
start with the absolute, like, just get the heavy metal music on standby. I think we should absolutely let rip and then
George,
then have the logic take over.
George, what do you think you're doing, mate? You're asking people what to rate your pita, and I'm sorry, mate, but you've already started off with a 7 before we've even talked about the toppings you put on there, because you've not mentioned the base, you've not mentioned the sauce, you've not mentioned your cheeses, because let's face it, it's not just mozzarella, there are other options available. When you then get to the base, mate, you've not even mentioned if you want a stuffed crust. So, if I'm honest, yeah, your pizza's down to a 6 before I'm even going to talk to about the toppings. So before I answer, I want you to address this one next week with a bit more elaboration before I even rate it. And personally, one of the top ones there, I can't even rate anchovies because I've never had them. But yeah, you need to come back to me because I've also heard that you don't rate the Fakir SBC, mate, and I think I think you need to go see a doctor.
Glad
you just
we let
got
go
grilled.
Anything to add, Mers? Anything to add to that?
I mean, not only that, but you also need to maybe mention which restaurant chain it is. Like, is it Pizza Hut, Domino's, Papa John's? Is it like local pizza like restaurant? Because I think that also has a little bit of a factor. Because
you're talking about your local greasy kebab and pizza, you know. Like.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think like people have a preference. For instance, like I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I do. Domino's,
but do you have a preference? Domino's. There you go.
I mean, I like the one I went to in Italy.
I personally have to go wherever there's gluten-free. I can't have Papa John's because I have to order a gluten-free pizza because one of my kids has gluten intolerance, so I have to go wherever.
Like Joey and friends when I don't share food.
Out. Damn shame. Getting some chicken dippers or something.
So most of the time it's Pizza Hut for me, but I do like a Domino's. But I'm with you. Barbecue base every single time. Like, yeah.
George, come at us when you've got a real question, mate. That's what I'm saying.
What was the other topping? Is pepperoni, olives, anchovies, and sausage.
Sausage.
I'm going to try and give an actual answer this week. So this isn't completely wasted on George. I haven't actually ever had anchovies, but I know they are salty, so I can see that working well on a pizza. Although I know it's a bit of a hot topic, so none of us are able to actually jump in fully on that, apart from maybe Mers, who's had them before. I do rate the olives though. Olives
also salty though. He's running a risk of this being a very salty
over salty. So sausage is quite a salty thing as well.
There's certain flavours that he enjoys.
Pepperoni,
I'm not going to overly judge him. I mean, I do like pepperoni. I do like olives, and I do like sausage on a pizza.
Yeah.
I grew up let's say different. My pizza as a kid, I was surprisingly vegetarian. I wasn't vegetarian normally, but on pizza I was, and I'm expecting some judgment from you guys right now for this.
Okay.
Growing up,
pineapple.
I used to Jesus no. Never actually had it, so I'm not gonna sort of say it's sacrilege because I've never had it, but I've not tried it. But I used to have mushroom and sweet corn mainly as my two things on a pizza. As a kid,
yeah, I mean
only in sort of later years
that is missing me.
It is missing me. I'm aware, but if I had to go for my ideal one, the only sort of local one to me is a Domino's, so that is where I go. It would feature both those toppings still, mushroom and sweet corn. I do still love both of those very dearly, but I would absolutely have chicken and bacon with barbecue base. Stuffed crusts, I do love stuffed crust. I can't say no to that. Mainly those, maybe add in one or two other things, maybe some ground beef or something, I don't know. But it's the sort of stuff like maybe some red onions, I think, instead of maybe ground beef. That's sort of my usual order for a sort of pizza chain. But I did love the 5 Formaggi when I was in Italy. I will confirm that. Best pizza I've ever had in Naples. A 5 Formaggi, beautiful. Just 5 cheese. Simple. Doesn't need to overdo anything. Only €6, and it was magnifico.
I'll fully answer yours, George, when you've got a real question in regards to your pizza.
So next week we'll come back to this basically.
Yeah, so pretty much.
I'll see if I have any pizza in the week that will change my mind.
Well,
maybe more some anchovies.
I'll weigh in with my favourite. We were discussing it from Domino's, so not Spawn. Is the cheeseburger pizza. However, I replace the tomato sauce with a barbecue sauce, and I also do take out the burger sauce and I put in their, what is it?
Garlic and herb?
Yeah, I think it's no, I don't. No, this is what I do, sorry. I remember now, I don't put on that. I take out the burger sauce and I put in sausage. So alright, you're guaranteed that you're going to get one on there, alright? At least a 1 out of 10 for your pizza. Because I do put sausage. I take the burger sauce off for the sausage.
I'll plan on possibly trying this pizza in the week.
And I take the tomatoes off, and I do put in some olives on that as well, I think. So Yeah, I'll have to have a little look. I haven't had one for a long time, and it's making me want to order one now. So let's get on to the next question.
Okay, so the next question is asked is one country you would like to travel to that you've never been to before.
Okay.
Now, let's also add on to that. What countries have you actually already been to, though?
God.
So, is that a long list or something?
Ridiculous, mate. I was very fortunate growing up.
Same
I'm
here.
always scrimped and saved to make sure we could go away. So I've been to Australia, I've been to America, I've been in a lot of places in Europe, too many to mention. Morocco.
I think it's got a list of places in America, really.
I think my list is short then.
Yeah,
in
I've been
comparison.
to Mauritius. I've been to a lot of very different places. And the one place that I haven't been to that I would like to, and I don't know where exactly I'd like to go, is South America. I would like to go to maybe like Cuba or somewhere like that.
Cuba's in North America, but
that's either north or central. But yeah, I mean, to get the point.
Yeah. So I've only really been to like United States. You know, I would like to go to one of those sort of countries.
I'm just writing down the countries I've been to, trying to figure out how many we're taking off.
In the meantime, I'll touch everything for myself then. So in terms of countries that I've been to, so while in my younger years, I only went to Germany on a school trip. Mm-hmm. So that's literally only one place. And then in my adult years, I've only managed to go on holiday twice. I haven't been on holiday in 10 years. I haven't been on holiday in the last 10 years. Okay. Like, I've been trying to, but every time I'd booked a holiday abroad, ended up having another child. So maybe
before your next holiday.
Maybe you should just plan ahead more.
Well, we're not having any more children now, so it would be safe. But the problem is don't really have money to be able to book a holiday abroad, and plus the kids in some ways. I don't really want to take them. No one wants to look after the kids. But countries that I've been to, so I went to Orlando for the honeymoon. So I went to like Universal Studios and stuff like that. And then I went on a cruise around the Mediterranean. So I went to Italy, Spain, and France. But in terms of country that I would love to go to is New Zealand. I think New Zealand would be like, although essentially it's almost like England/Wales or something like that, but I think it's a very beautiful looking country.
I would like to go there. Definitely.
I think I'd like to go like whale spotting or something like that, like because I really like wildlife. So any holiday that I would want to do, I feel like would be a bit like orientated around wildlife. Like I would love to go to maybe like South Africa or something like that, go on safari, see actual animals in their own natural habitat than having to go to a zoo or something like that. So those are more my dream style holidays. Nice. But Luke, go on then.
I've wrote the list. I don't think I've forgotten any. So I've been to France twice. I've been to Nice, and I went to Brittany as a kid. I went to Malaga in Spain. I've been to New York and Florida 3 separate times. Once like baby, like 2 years old, I don't remember it. Once when I was 7, and once like maybe like 4 years ago. Went on holiday with the lads to Naples. I've been to Nuremberg as sort of a family sort of trip to meet brothers' girlfriends, and I've been to Menorca. Honestly, I think Menorca was one of the great ones, just being able to relax all the time. But if I had to say somewhere I want to go, I think this is public knowledge. I want to go to Japan. Nice. I do have a bit of a fascination with there at the moment. But maybe 6 months ago, if you'd have asked me, I'd have gone, no, I don't really see it. But at the moment, I've sort of been watching a few YouTube channels, mainly one known as Abroad in Japan. It's sort of watching some of those videos. It's sort of opened a new light to me on sort of what goes on, etc. And I don't know, I'm sort of hooked. I just want to sort of go out there, experience the culture a little bit, the sort of cuisine, as I do. Yeah. Do sort of like that sort of kind of stuff. So if I had to pick a place to go, absolutely at the moment 100% Japan.
Okay. I just was writing them down as well. So I've been to Turkey twice, Tunisia, Mauritius, Thailand, Singapore, Spain several times, France once, Germany once, Scotland twice, Iceland once, USA 7 times. I've been to a combination of Orlando, Vegas, Miami in the times that I've been there. Been to Morocco, so North America, Australia, Portugal, and then various countries various places in the Canary Islands, so Fuerteventura, Tenerife, etc. So yeah, very fortunate, very, very fortunate.
Okay, so quite a varied destinations between the two of you, and then there's just me with a couple of European places and Orlando. But last question he has asked is, what is your favourite sport to watch other than football? So who wants to answer this one first?
I mean, I don't think this is going to clarify as a sport, especially as it's since changed to entertainment. But if anyone's ever seen the figurines in the background of here, I am a WWE fan.
Yeah, that's classed as I'm absolutely there.
So yeah, I love WWE. I love AEW. I have been to NXT when I was in America one of the times, and yeah, I watch it without fail since I was 12 every week. So yeah, massive fan. In terms of actual sports, I love golf. I'm a golfer. I do love it, and I also like darts. I am fortunately friends with a world known dart player. So I had a keen interest in it anyway, but I know him through golf, and then we've become friends, and yeah, and he did very well recently in the quarterfinals of the tournament this weekend in Amsterdam. So
Amsterdam darts. No, it's for me, as I say, if wrestling counts, it absolutely is up there for me. I do similar to Brad on that sense. We're a lot more similar than maybe we'd have thought, because I do also like to watch a bit of golf from time to time as something just to sort of relax to. F1 is the obvious one. Everyone sort of knows me for playing the F1 games. It's where I sort of started out. But I'm trying to see if there's like an alternative answer to just saying F1. Not that I can think of at the moment, but I do enjoy watching a whole host of sports. I've watched a live basketball game whilst in Orlando. That was
nice.
The Magic got absolutely massacred that night, but it was a good game to watch. I think it was against the Mavericks. I think it was. So that was a very entertaining watch in person. Sort of watching live American sport there in person. It's not something you get to do every day.
No.
As for myself, besides football, I am a big American football fan. So I love the NFL. I'm a Seattle Seahawks fan. I've got a jersey for that team.
Nice.
I've been to Wembley twice to watch American football live. So I've seen Jacksonville Jaguars take on the Buffalo Bills, and Jacksonville Jaguars take on the Indianapolis Colts. Obviously, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is home to some international NFL games in the regular season. So I'm hoping next year to go again, because I was trying to always go every single year, but I haven't been able to go the last few years. A, because of COVID last year, and then B, this year I just completely forgot about ordering tickets, because you order the tickets much earlier in the year ahead of the games, because you order the tickets March time, but the games are played October, so you have to get in there very early. But yeah, I'm a big NFL fan.
Nice.
I also, because I'm from a rugby city, I've been to watch rugby a fair few times. So because I'm from Gloucester's quite a big rugby team, so I've been to watch Gloucester play a few times. But those are the sort of main ones. But I pretty much can watch majority of sports. I'm pretty much I watch highlights for the F1. If I could watch it live, I probably would. But I work on Sundays. Tennis I can watch. There's probably not that many sports that I'm not really into. I mean, to be fair, I'm not really into wrestling. I would probably slate it more than anything. I just think it's a bit of a fake sport, in my opinion.
Well, it is scripted. It is But it's definitely not fake. I can assure you.
That is a word you don't say around wrestling fans.
As personally, from doing it for about 4 years myself, I can tell you it's not fake. It is very, very real, and fortunately, we didn't have many injuries occur. I think a dislocated finger was our worst. But I can certainly tell you that it was, that it's definitely not fake. It's predetermined, but not fake.
Yeah,
that's how we always refer to it. It's always
partially scripted.
Yeah, it's scripted. It's predetermined, but it's not fake.
It's a physical.
That's how we'll always defend it, because it's the impacts you see. There can absolutely be real injuries. Obviously, heart situations can happen.
The
risks they face in there are actually real. They'll try and minimise those risks as much as possible.
Yep.
But that's getting into a whole different can of worms. Talking about fake wrestling, etc. That is another hour debate. That is a debate that could last forever.
I think it's just because when my kids watch it on YouTube and stuff, like I see them watching like the Royal Rumble, and I'm just seeing there, like I think it's like maybe like 10 like people. I don't know if it's Royal Rumble. But there's one where there's like nearly every single wrestler in the ring at the same time.
Sounds like Royal Rumble. 30 to 40 people, depending on, well, even 50 with the Greatest Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
At one time. But bunch of people,
my
one by one
entering the ring. Of the year. Yeah.
No. It was actually like pretty much nearly everyone in the ring at the same time, starting off.
Battle Royal.
Yeah, and I'm just watching it. I'm seeing just a load of people just standing there, just like not doing anything.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I can get that.
It sounds like the Royal Rumble, and that would purely be.
It sounds like a battle royal.
Those sort of moments in a Royal Rumble where you've just got like 10 people sort of like not really doing much is purely because they're waiting for that one entrant who's then going to come in and tear it up. And that's generally what happens. Like they're waiting for Kane.
So like an edge return.
They're waiting for Kane to come down and eliminate 6 people. That's what
Edge return being another great moment.
Edge return is my all-time favourite wrestler, and I physically had goosebumps when he came out. My wife couldn't believe my reaction.
Mate, so some of the reactions you get from wrestling fans are the best things
they are
to
the
see.
best. Yeah, they are the best.
But it can be crazy.
It's real to me, goddammit.
Genuinely, the accent is so shit. Oh god. It's
on
still real to me, damn it.
But with the end to the Q&A, that means it is the end of the podcast. So just a few things for you listeners to advertise for the FSB content this week. So we have FUT Eliminator being released on the FSB YouTube channel, which is around
DRB.
Because it's not my series. DRB, so Rulebreakers DRB, the man that was extinct.
We managed to snipe him, and
today.
Today he has been flooded into the market
and into oblivion.
It's a good episode. You need to check it out.
Yes.
Yep, good episode. Apparently there is something big that happens towards the end or something like that. Yes.
Very big.
But make sure to watch that on Thursday. I'm guessing you'll hopefully have that out in time for Thursday.
I hope so. Yeah, that is the plan.
Yep.
I am now a 9 to 5 worker, but that is my plan.
And then the other content is going to be the bonus draft builder, which we record after each episode of the podcast recording. So we'll have that out on Saturday. Obviously, fingers crossed that we don't see any more big discards if I lose again. But if Luke loses, I want to see a big...
No, what do you mean? I've got to buy Puskas.
I want to see a big discard for you. I want to see a big discard from you. You keep getting away with it.
Well,
and Brad, I want you to stop finishing first.
I want him to stop.
Right? Stop getting that.
He needs a discard. At least I've been.
He needs a discard.
At least I've been losing 200 to 300 coins on tax each week. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's not lost anything.
We'll see. We're going to find out.
But there's icons in drafts as well.
So let's see.
There are icons in drafts now as well.
There's icons in drafts, so this will be a big, interesting one for the bonus draft builder.
As well. I had an honorary earlier.
And with that in mind, guys, basically you do need to make sure you are subscribed to this channel because there are giveaways.
Yeah.
For these high discard players, giveaways. So get subscribed.
2,200 FIFA points. So, good to buy potentially at least 2 packs or something like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe one
big
packs. We haven't seen 100k packs yet.
No, but it gets some what six premium gold players packs. So
Yeah, or 2 rare players.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, make sure you're following us on our YouTube channel at well, no, it won't be an @ /FSB creators. Well, once we get to 100 followers, anyway, because at the moment it's just a load of numbers and letters. Unfortunately, so annoying that you can't have a custom one until you get to 100. But yeah, make sure to follow us. And guys, thank you for being on today's podcast. As always,
no problem at all.
Thank you for listening to the podcast, and we will see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.